The moment Marcus hit the pavement, the world went quiet, not the peaceful kind, but the kind that roars inside your head. Rain mixed with blood on the concrete, and the sound of laughter from passing cars cut deeper than the pain in his ribs. He had told himself this would be the last try. One more interview. One more run at a dream everyone said was dead. As he lay there, breath shallow, a question echoed louder than the sirens in the distance. If you quit now, who do you become tomorrow? Stay with this story until the end, because what happens next might be the reminder you didn't know you needed. Marcus wasn't always this man on the ground. He was once the kid who believed effort could outrun circumstance. Raised in a cramped apartment with flickering lights and overdue notices taped to the door, he learned early that hope didn't come free. His mother worked 2 jobs, her hands cracked and swollen, but her eyes burned with belief. She used to tell him, "The world doesn't owe you comfort, but it will respect your grind." Those words followed him through school hallways where teachers underestimated him, through part-time jobs that paid just enough to keep the lights on, and through nights when sleep felt like a luxury he couldn't afford. In high school, Marcus discovered running. Not because he loved it, but because it hurt. And in the pain, he felt control. While others escaped into parties and excuses, he ran until his lungs screamed. He ran away from doubt, from hunger, from the voice that whispered he wasn't enough. Coaches noticed his discipline but questioned his background. Colleges admired his speed but hesitated at his grades, never asking why a kid who worked nights might struggle in class. Every yes came with a maybe. Every opportunity came with conditions. Then came the injury. One bad step during a qualifying race, and the dream shattered. Torn ligaments. Months of rehab. Scholarships pulled back. Phones stopped ringing. People who once said, "You're next," now said, "Be realistic." Marcus watched others pass him by, celebrating wins he believed were meant for him. The mirror became an enemy, reflecting not a champion, but a question mark. He started skipping training, then skipping meals, then skipping hope. After graduation, reality hit harder than any race ever had. Rejections piled up. Bills didn't care about potential. His mother fell ill, and the weight of responsibility pressed on his chest every morning. Marcus took a janitor job at a corporate building downtown, cleaning offices that belonged to people living the life he thought he'd have by now. Every night, he emptied trash cans filled with discarded dreams, and every morning, he told himself it was temporary, even when he stopped believing it. One night, as he cleaned a conference room, he noticed a quote scribbled on a whiteboard left behind by a late meeting. "When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful." He stood there longer than he should have, reading it again and again. It wasn't magic. It didn't fix anything. But it poked the wound he had been protecting. Did he still want it that bad? Or had comfort quietly replaced hunger? That question haunted him. He started running again, not for trophies, but for truth. Early mornings. Empty streets. Cold air biting his skin. Every step was a negotiation with doubt. Some days he won. Some days he lost. But he showed up. When his mother's condition worsened, he ran harder, not away from fear, but straight through it. He ran to remind himself he was still alive, still capable of choosing effort over excuses. Then came the interview, the one he told himself was the last. A youth mentorship program looking for speakers with real stories. Marcus almost didn't go. He owned one decent shirt, and even that felt like a lie. The interview was brief, polite, noncommittal. As he left the building, the rain started. Lost in thought, he didn't see the slick patch on the sidewalk. The fall was fast, brutal, embarrassing. Lying there, staring at the gray sky, Marcus laughed through clenched teeth. Not because it was funny, but because he realized something painful and freeing at the same time. Rock bottom wasn't the fall. Rock bottom was deciding this moment defined him. He stood up slowly, ignoring the stares, wiping blood from his chin. And right there, soaked and shaking, he made a promise, not to win, not to be famous, not to prove anyone wrong, but to never quit on effort. To never let one bad chapter convince him the story was over. Weeks passed. No call came. But Marcus kept training, kept reading, kept volunteering at the local community center, speaking to kids who reminded him of himself. He didn't have polished speeches. He had scars. And strangely, that was enough. The kids listened. They leaned in. They asked questions no one had ever asked him. For the first time, his pain felt useful. Then the call came, not from the program that rejected him, but from a teacher who had heard him speak. Then another. And another. Small rooms. Folding chairs. Broken microphones. Marcus talked about failure without glamorizing it, about discipline without pretending it was easy, about hunger that doesn't fade when life gets hard. He told them the truth. Motivation isn't a feeling, it's a decision you make every day, especially when you don't feel like it. Years later, Marcus stood on a stage much bigger than he ever imagined. Lights in his eyes. Silence in the crowd. He paused, remembering the pavement, the rain, the moment he almost quit. He leaned forward and said, "If you're waiting for perfect conditions, you'll wait forever. If you're waiting to feel ready, you'll stay stuck. But if you decide, right now, that quitting is no longer an option, your life will start to move." The crowd rose. Applause thundered. But Marcus knew the real victory wasn't the stage. It was every morning he chose effort over excuses. Every time he got back up without guarantees. Every moment he refused to let his past vote on his future. If this story spoke to you, if you're fighting a battle no one sees, take a second right now, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and commit to feeding your mind with strength, not doubt. Because you don't need more talent, more luck, or more approval. You need relentless persistence. You need to want your purpose as bad as you want your next breath. And when life knocks you down, and it will, remember this: staying down is a choice. Getting up is a decision. Never give up.